Greetings. Welcome back to my
We're good.
podcast. I am your host, Alex Burdock. Great to be here. Hope everybody's doing well. And looking forward to this one actually. This person that I've been looking forward to having a conversation. It's going to be quite a nuanced one today, and I just wanted to. I hope he's patient with me because I've got something to break down, and hopefully we can have an interesting conversation. This person is an expert in communications, sales, a storyteller in his own right, and also, his stories have value because he provides service in a unique way through his stories, and I'm very intrigued to hear what he has to say. And also, he's a master, or should I say, somebody that is very in tune with human behavior. Mr. Joshua Altman, welcome to my podcast. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure, and thanks for giving me some of your time. Just to clarify, because I'm very aware, because I remember just reading about you, and to be precise, you create stories as well?
Yeah, it is, and we do it. I mean, we do it for our own business, but also for companies as well that hire us. We identify what their story is. We have a framework that we use to kind of dig into it and really figure out what it is they want to communicate and the message they want to tell. And we call that our story, narrative, brand framework. And the way we think about it is stories is the stuff that happens. It's what you tell your friends when you're sitting at the bar. It's a little disjointed. It hasn't really been the most thought out, but it's the stuff. Narrative is what we really tell. It's what answers questions. It's what connects the dots. It's what you want people to think about your story and come away from your story. And then brand, we say, is the swag. It's the stuff. It's everything people interact with. So if you're in sales, it's your sales material, it's logos, it's pens. If you're a solopreneur, if you're doing this sort of on your own, it's you are part of that. And that is where people tend to call us. And then a lot of what we do is almost working backwards to figure out the story and the narrative and then connect that to an existing brand.
That's very interesting. And as I said earlier on, I hope you bear with me today. I've got something to cook up, and hopefully, we can have a jousting per se of the information pertaining to where I really want to take this conversation today. But beforehand, I would love to share with you just a quote from a piece that I wrote for this episode. I thought this was apropos, so here we go. A paleontologist of setting dust to see the secrets of the mind, growing like a spine, seeking more of me to bind. The running kind, shedding skin through time, the periods in mind, like the lines that lie. Frequency as it feels, turning like a washing machine, draining my faculties over time. A sad face I've yet to see the Mayans, the crafted kinds, painting for the life of the civilized type. The worldly pronoun before its time. The moon that see man telling itself it will not be long now. To my first question, as someone that studies communication and human behavior, do you think there is value in the concept of survival?
I mean, it's a concept, it's a reality. We all got to do it. That's what we hear. We have to do it. We work in communications, and a lot of times that is something people struggle with, which is thankfully why they call us. And what you're hinging on, especially in your business, which is what we deal with, is B2B, B2C, that type of work, and it focuses really all around trust. Is our work. We're fractional chief communications officers. That role, the chief communications officer, has two big roles. It is to shape perception and to build and maintain trust. And when it comes to survival, your business, you live and die on trust. That is why people buy, why people interact with you, why people make that choice. So without it, you will not survive. Your business needs it.
I'm curious how you think the brain interprets this concept of the mechanics of such a thing, which would mean we're speaking about a certain type of demographic. Let us just say individuals in Seek. But if they're in Seek, that would indicate in their finding there is someone closer to a level of abundance, or they're seeking abundance, in other words, or thereby the possession to a degree, whether that is deemed in a qualitative or quantitative sort of classification, which is also subjective, but I would say the perception of such is the most important. So how do you believe this is interpreted, this concept, or perhaps explain the mechanics of this interpretation?
I'll leave the mechanics of the brain to the neuroscientists because they are the experts on that. We are the experts on communications. So we each have what we are the expert in. When we work with human behavior, we're thinking more about what drives them to make those purchase, buying, click, read, open decisions, and how we can use that to move them through a process. And for us, it's typically a sales process, a buying process with consumers. But the principles are the same across the board when you're trying to engage people. And what we do a lot of is we don't think of, we need you to buy a house, we don't need you to buy a big ticket item. What we need you to do is move you towards a goal. And we move people incrementally. It's very hard if you're in a sales process, whatever it is, to accomplish the whole thing the first go round, the first time someone sees you, the first time someone interacts with you. It's a process. There are stages. It can take 21, 28, 30 plus touch points to actually fully change that behavior from non-buyer to buyer, to get someone to take the action that you want. If you're a nonprofit, from non-donor to donor, non-volunteer to volunteer, that's a lot of engagement. That's a lot of touch points that you have to have, which means it could be a long process. And it's largely a process you have no control over. You can influence it, but you cannot determine the outcome at any given step. And that's what we think of when it comes to behavior, is how can we influence it towards making a decision? And how do we do that in gradual, incremental ways?
I mean, I like what you said, because you said the operative word for me. So I asked this question: is it fair to assume that what you give to brands are essentially information, or that, in a sense, a volume of abundance in terms of value pertaining to what you're saying?
We give a lot of information. We give a lot of technical advice. We do a lot of implementation as well, because the information is good and it's helpful, but it has to be implemented. It has to be used in some way, or else it's just information, which can be beneficial, but we are trying to very frequently get people, our users, the end user, to do a thing. So that information goes towards accomplishing that goal, if it be making the phone call, clicking the button, becoming a volunteer, whatever it is you're doing. making that donation, because that's where you need to end up. And we're gathering more information along the way. There's a lot of information. You'd say there's an abundance of it. We have more information now than ever before. That's not necessarily a good thing, because you can become over-reliant on that data and what you're being presented, and then not necessarily think about it. And that could lead, and this is not 100% of the time, to over-reliance and overconfidence. The data tells me all these numbers, but it doesn't necessarily tell you what it means and how to act on it. And when you just have a lot of information, you can rely on it in ways that might not be the best. So being selective about that information, both that we take in and that we pass on to our clients, is very important towards accomplishing that final goal.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I sense this is where things get a lot more specific, especially pertaining to your audience, where it goes from data to information, but specific information.
Yeah, data and information are very similar. We think of data today like as metrics, as numbers, as things we can chart. Data certainly more than that. There's qualitative data. There's things that you get from focus groups, from conversations with people, from surveys, paragraph-long responses. This interview is a form of data. But people would think of it now more like click metrics or open rates. And that's certainly part of it, but that is not the only data we get, because it doesn't necessarily tell us the why. And that's really important for what we do, especially when it comes to perception and trust. Because we can look at things, and our newsletter, our company newsletter, goes out the day we're recording this on a Tuesday. And we'll run an A/B test, we'll test the subject lines. It'll tell us exactly which one got more clicks and which one got more opens and all of that. But what it doesn't tell us is why. We could look at that trend over time. We could look at all our subject line tests in the last year for us or for any client, and it'll tell us trends. It could tell us questions do better, short does better than long. It might tell us long does better than short, long questions versus short questions. There's a lot it could tell us, but it doesn't tell us why. That is still either we have to ask someone directly, why did you click this? And hopefully they don't say it's because my mouse slipped or I misclicked on the wrong email on my phone. Or they tell us, I was genuinely interested. And that tells us what about that gave us the information. So yeah, we can have a lot of data about what does best, but it's hard to replicate that without knowing the why.
Yes, you said the operative word for me, I think at this stage, which, stayed with me the first time you said it, it's the why. Because things just get a bit more specific. And I think this is where you sort of, in a sense, earn your money, in a sense where this is where things you change, convert data to information. Not only to that, but it gets more specific in terms of the value that you provide. So I guess what I'm asking is, in terms of societal value, could this be something that is an underlying currency that we all indulge in, meaning we play a part in creating efforts so we can circulate, thus creating an information market so people can benefit from?
Yeah, but when something works for you, we say all the time, prepare to be surprised. Don't go in with too many hard assumptions, and be open to being wrong. That your assumptions about what your audience might want to do, that data could tell you the opposite. Your test could tell you the opposite. Your focus groups could tell you the opposite. And frequently the best results come when we're surprised by what people tell us, by what that data shows. And then we can use that to create better product, more information that we can use to then drive that action that we want. But always be prepared that the information you're going in with, those assumptions, can be wrong, because they frequently are, and you're not going to learn from that new data if you don't start with the possibility that the information you have and the actions you're taking off of that might not be the best.
To this level of nuance, it's like hair splitting to the point of playing intertwined semantics, so to speak. So, is there a formula that you adhere to that creates a type of product that is unique to you and your business of storytelling?
So I mentioned before our story, narrative, and brand framework that we use, but we have another one that really guides the storytelling, guides how we get that information out there. And we call that our 4 languages model. And it's what people read, see, hear, and experience. Read, people kind of intuitively understand. It's what they read. It's words on a page mostly, or on a screen. See, a lot of that's what you read, but it's more. It's the layout of what you see. It's the pictures, it's the video, it's the graphics. All of that contributes to see. Here is things like this podcast. It's everything audio. It's in-store audio, where there's a lot of trials, a lot of tests being done now to really dial that in, to get in-person audio to be as effective as possible. And the last one is experience. And people tend to think that is mostly experiential things you go to, like pop-ups and conferences and, street corner signs and all of that. That's great. But it's also how you experience what you read, see, and hear, and how we bring all of those together. So the experience of watching this podcast versus listening to it is very different. You'll get the same words. That information doesn't change, but you'll get so much more because you get the video if you watch it. Now, more isn't necessarily better. Like I mentioned before, you could have too much information. Now, I'm someone, I listen to podcasts. I don't watch. I listen when I drive. I listen when I walk the dog. I don't watch podcasts. I listen. But someone who watches will have a completely different experience from me, someone who listens while doing something else. And that's how a lot of people get podcasts, is they listen while they drive, while they walk the dog, while they make dinner, while they do dishes, while they're just going about their daily activity. So that is how we think about how that experience differs. And what we want is read, see, hear, and experience to amplify each other. So not everything won't necessarily be something you hear and read, but what you read should amplify what you hear, that both messages from the speaker, in our case it's a company usually, need to amplify each other and not simply just be,
I get it, 2 trains running parallel. Well, fortunately, we have to wrap this up now, but I want to say, first and foremost, this was great, man, and thanks so much for giving me some of your time.
Oh, thank you.
It's been a great time having you on, and I'm sure we will catch up in the future, and I look forward to it. But until then, Mr. Joshua Altman, thanks so much. Take care. Until next time. Goodbye.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Mind over matter. Overcompensating. Overstatements. Crookedness relating. The soul's churn in return. Mental overstimulation. One word.